taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, the shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
You know what it do, man. Ring Gang, El Capitan.
Yes, sir.
Shuttleworth the guy. GOAT artist, LB Lauderdale Boss. Florida in the building, you know it is. RingGangRadio.com. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Ringing in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go.
Hey, Bodega P's, you know, with the store. So who's been from the bodega this week, bruh?
I gotta be honest. So nobody is banned this week, but I'm gonna be on some positive shit. Oh. Any juggernauts that come into the bodega get at least one free item, you know, because I won money off some juggernauts this weekend. So yes, you know, so any juggernaut that comes into the bodega gets one free item. You know what I'm saying? It's the least I could do for y'all, you know, making me some money.
I mean, I'm sure Juggernaut could just take the motherfucker if he wanted to. So you know.
I mean, he's trying to be hospitable and shit. You know, that's what.
We are hospitable in the bodega.
You know, because I mean, if either do that or he'll just take the shit. You know, you got to kill him with kindness because you know niggas just too destructive out here, for real. But yeah, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? It's your boy Conscious Pod, aka the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender preparing for liftoff. Destination Ring Radio. Let's fly.
Yes, sir. Conscious pilot, you know, stays elevated, you know, above the clouds. You know what I'm saying? There's no turbulence this time. Yes, sir. And last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Nigga, Rome, that's your cue, bruh. Oh, so this nigga, no, Rome doesn't want to announce himself.
The nigga stepped away like, hold on.
This nigga Rome absolutely.
What yo? What's poppin'? You already know who the fuck it is. It's your boy Rome, top 5. Chicago's on in the building. Stand up. What's good?
Yeah, this nigga was real. He was late with it though, but yeah, you know it's good to have Rome out here. Chicago win because this nigga leaves these niggas in the breeze and shit. You know that's what it is, man. So yeah, as Pete alluded to, yes, you know there was a juggernaut that won big last weekend. You know, it was arguably the fight of the weekend, and it was a hell of a fight on top of that too. And I didn't even think honestly, I didn't think it was gonna be all that, but it was what you know people who are fans of fades or connoisseurs of fades needed. Of course, I'm talking about Joyce and Joseph Parker. Before I go into that one, so when we did the preview for this. You know, we realized we have a couple of Australians, New Zealanders that weren't necessarily feeling what we had to say about this, particularly that we all picked Joyce to win. You know, so I took a look at some comments. Well, one of them were respectful, but he was going for Joseph Parker. Like, okay, you know, because you know he's fast, he's whatever and stuff like that. I didn't really agree, but he was polite about it. One called us, a bunch of crackheads. So when I pressed him about the crackheads thing, this nigga started talking about some speed of light and some bullshit like that. I'm like, who the fuck is the speed of light? Light of speed will blind his eyes. Like, who the fuck are you talking about? Parker.
Hold on, where are these comments coming from? What?
Yeah, the comments for the preview what we did on YouTube.
Oh, the comments on the
YouTube. Oh, I gotta pull this shit up. Yeah, niggas was talking like that. Damn.
Well, I didn't post the crackheads one. I think I deleted that one because same dude that talked about light of speed blind his eyes. Nigga called us the filter put out the crackheads comment, and then another one called us a whole panel of idiots, a whole panel filled with idiots.
Hates the new love.
God damn, hold on, I gotta bring this motherfucker up.
Hey, hates the new love. That's love though. That's really love.
Yeah, like niggas, I don't know what they saw in Parker to think, you know, like
the hate's so real, but the love's so fake, man. My goodness.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I was like, geez, it's like they literally couldn't see that, that Parker might actually lose to Joe Joyce, who is a bigger human than him.
Yeah,
punches way harder than him.
Even though he's 7 years older and boxing years, he's younger though. Because Joseph Parker's only 31 years old, right? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Parker's like 30. He's still young, but he took he took an old timey ass beating.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah,
I'm seeing the comments now. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I was like, what? What in the flying fuck? It's just like, why you all upset for? Why are you mad for? Literally every one of us that talked about this fight and what we think is gonna happen, that's what the shit happened. Except Pilot actually got the prediction right this time. He called the round, but P put money on the round, so he got paid off this. So both y'all won.
Yeah, who's laughing now, bitch ass?
Yeah, I got a comment now.
That's crazy. You got 23 comments on that joint. Damn. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I was just like, geez, it's like, is it that serious to be calling us crackheads and shit like that? I was like, but then one of them, the one that was respectable, like when I call him, was like, I say, hey, I'm sure you saw the fight and what happened. He was like, at first I didn't call him crackhead, which I had to tell him it was the other guy. But he's like, good job from Joyce. Just didn't understand why Parker came in too heavy. First time Parker been knocked out. But good job by Team Joyce. No excuses. We are still happy we've had a world title. Mean a lot to New Zealand. One heavyweight in small country. Nice win. I'm just like, geez. It's like, you guys really... And he's like, after because, Parker's the only heavyweight in New Zealand, so he does a lot. So Parker falls, so does New Zealand boxing. So I was like,
damn, dude. Like, shit.
I get it in a way, but goddamn, Parker has never shown himself to be so indestructible. Like, even when he was champion, I'm just trying to figure out.
He only fought hard because Joe Joyce is there to be hit. So
yeah,
it's like we said, Joseph Parker is gonna look good, but it's gonna come a time when that shit he's doing ain't gonna be enough, and Juggernaut's still gonna be there. Yeah, war of attrition. And at the end of the day, he gonna put his foot in his ass.
It's like Parker had a nice counter every round, but it wasn't enough. He would come back with a couple counters every round. It wasn't. Joyce was controlling that fight.
Because the thing is, these dudes can't sustain offense against Joe Joyce. But the thing is, on the flip side, they can't avoid his offense. So it's like it's a battle here, and I would like this. Like, let me see, a guy. What's his nigga who used to be he's the dude who knocked out Price, David Price. I can't remember his name. Thompson something.
Oh yeah, you talk about David Price, the black dude, right?
Yeah, black dude.
Hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
Man, I know you're talking about. I don't remember the name though.
Because he knocked Tony Thompson there, because he knocked him out twice.
Oh, okay. See, I had the last name right. I just couldn't remember. There's so many Thompsons in boxing.
Right.
But yeah, somebody needs to take a more an offensive minded Tony Thompson approach to do. Don't try to go in there and bang with him. Just get your respect. But minimize the contact. It's time to get a new approach against Joe Joyce. But I'm not complaining. I'm loving it because it's fades, and
yeah, exactly.
You want to see Juggernaut when he fights the X-Men. You want to see him fight the X-Men. You don't want to see him go and play cards with these niggas. Right.
Yeah, and that's the fight thing too. Because I remember, when I was manning the Twitter, I said because he didn't even come out with his Juggernaut mask, so I assumed that he knew that shit was serious. And Ezekiel Elliott scored, so you good. So
nigga.
We're talking boxing now. But thank you though.
But yeah,
shout out to the Jets.
So it was just Joyce is he basically it's just he didn't have the mask on or anything like that. So I was like, damn, he must be really serious. He really took that fight to the heart because dude.
It was his hardest fight. He better have took that shit serious.
Yeah, Parker. Because Parker was. It wasn't like Parker wasn't landing. Parker landed some heat on him, but this motherfucker just took it and not even blinking and kept moving forward. And the one thing is Parker could not get away from those looping ass right hands he was throwing.
And at one time he couldn't get away from the jab because at first Parker was out jabbing dude.
Yeah.
And then he started catching him. I'm like, the fuck going on?
And he couldn't get away from the body shots too down the road.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, Joyce.
He said couldn't get away from everything.
You know, for a guy that is slow as molasses, people can't avoid his punches. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
The Joyce
Facts.
is so slow. Like, I don't know.
I mean, he has an 80-inch reach too, so it's like, I mean.
So someone throwing a telephone pole at you real slowly from across the street, like you think you should be able to just dodge it completely, but you don't.
And the funny thing is too is like that fight made me rewatch the only fight that he actually went the distance for, and that was against BY. And BY was probably the only one, because I thought before like no one really targeted his body. I'm like, BY really target dude's body to the point.
Brian Jennings targets everybody's body.
Yeah,
he just in your face and he grinds you out. Shout out to Brian Jennings, because I feel like he's one of the real truth seekers in boxing. Like he gives everyone a tough fight, and you have to have some type of quality to beat him. You're not just gonna get lucky on fucking Brian. Brian Jennings is actually somebody I wanted to see fight Wilder when Wilder was coming out, but it just never happened.
It never happened because it
would have been a good fucking fight for someone like Wilder to have prepared him for that second Fury fight. Because up till then, no one ever said, you know what, I'm gonna just walk you down and go to the body and dog you out like Fury did. And if you look at it, that's Brian Jennings' fucking whole strategy all the time.
Right.
Like a cleaner version of Derek Chisora, really.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, his body work had Joe Joyce like kind of second guessing so much, because I think he even got deducted a point for like the low blows too. Like he actually
dedicated.
He had a template to actually at least keep Joe Joyce honest, but none of these other fighters have like go to his body. Like they ignore. They like, hey, I see a big old head up top. Let me just try to blast him with a shot. Maybe I might get lucky. But no, dude just walks forward, eats these punches, lands these looping, and dude must hit hard as fuck, because when he lands, these motherfuckers' heads go this way and that. Like fucking.
He be moving dudes too. Like he has force on his shots. Like he's a perfect example of not having the quick twitch or the snap on your punches, but still be forceful. Yeah. Like he hits you and he moves you to the other side of the ring, 3-4 feet and shit.
Yeah, and Parker's not the type to be moving like that. Like, I mean, but Parker was just getting like bullied.
Parker's a big dude, so yeah.
Yeah, and Parker was just getting like bullied and mauled all across the ring. Like
if you could move a motherfucker who's like 6'3" and up with your punches, then you get hit.
I mean, to his credit though, he wasn't on some, he wasn't trying to clinch him shit like that. Like, dude, I mean, he'd do it for a breather, but afterwards he'd try like, okay, let me try to mount some offense, but he got gassed.
It's the work rate. Like you see everybody keep putting up them Joe Joyce punch stats. That work, like niggas can't deal with that work rate, man.
Yeah, and it's worse too, because for a guy that big, like dude threw 844 punches in in that fight. Like that's heavyweight. Yeah,
you can't even get Canelo to throw that in 2 fights.
And he landed over 300. So like Parker really took a real because when heavyweight
and he had Floyd accuracy too.
So Parker kept getting pushed up onto the ropes.
Yeah,
and, like I knew like he wasn't gonna last because he just couldn't out muscle him. His stamina was because Parker was way too big for that, and I knew that all that moving around at that weight was gonna tire him out. And he was just getting bullied around there. I mean, I give credit to Parker. He was trying to fight him off, but once I seen him land a clean right hand to Joyce, and Joyce just kept trucking through, I'm that's the beginning of the end for him.
He ate that shit like a Scooby snack.
Yeah, like I mean, honestly, there were a couple of rounds where Parker should have actually been stopped. Like I thought it was about to be stopped, but he should have been stopped. Like we
know him from the Dylan White fight that he could hang tough.
Yeah,
he got hard.
It's the defense defense. Niggas lose on defense against Joseph. I'm sorry, against Joe Joyce.
Yeah,
it's the defense because they getting pushed to the ropes. At this stage in game, you gotta practice pivoting out them corners and using the ring in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, but
everybody gets pushed back.
Yeah, the fun thing with Parker though is like he'd be in the corner like that, and he just eat these shots. Like he wasn't like he's not even trying to slip him. Like he just go there and just get all these fades, and then after he eats about 4 or 5 of these shits, he desperately clutches, like he clinches onto people. Yeah, I was like,
he might land one good counter.
Yeah, exactly. Like
wash, rinse, and repeat. Yo, shout out to Android. What it do? Yeah, Joyce started late, and it's still improving his defense, and it's improved a bit. And Silas is teaching him how to shoot off the line. Yeah, and you know what? I agree with that. I do feel like Joe Joyce is improving a bit. Like his defense did get slightly better. Like Jared Hurd would still be in the game right now if he showed the improvement that Joe Joyce has showed within the last 3-4 fights.
Yo, Silas is actually a good trainer for him. Like,
yes,
that's a good pairing for him.
Yeah, that and that's real too. Yeah, but yeah, Joyce, because I think Joyce too. I mean, even honestly, eating shots is still not good though. But the fact that how he does it is just ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't take.
Yeah, he doesn't try to. Before he used to eat 100% of the shots. Now it's like 70.
Right.
Shit, that's an improvement though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement.
Yeah, that's an improvement.
And
especially at heavyweight.
Can anybody crack this motherfucker's chin?
It's funny thing is too. Like, I mean, Joe Joyce has gotten knocked out before in the amateur, so but then he was a lot lighter. He was like 225 pounds back then, or whatever. He's probably like
it would take a lot to knock him out because there's just so much you got to deal with, the pressure, the physical strength. Like that's a tough thing.
He sees all the shots coming.
Yeah, and the wild thing too is even when he eats it, like he does his face, his eyes, they don't swell up, like none of that shit. Like dude he gets hit.
And that's I'm glad you pointed that out. Like, and that's one of the whole damn one of the things people forget about Juggernaut. It's like the durability. Like we not trying to say this nigga's really invulnerable, but you gotta chip at that armor a lot. Like, and Parker hit him with some good shots, and it's like Joe Joyce just looked like he was in a real good doghouse sparring session and not a borderline fight of the year for heavyweight.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like honestly, a guy like Wilder could do it, but because I think you need somebody. It's like Wilder has a possibility, but Parker did too. You have to have some type of boxing ability to sneak a shot in there. Like if there was a guy like a Keith Thurman at heavyweight, I'm sure he could run Joe Joyce into something big. Because I don't think you're gonna just beat him, straight up warring with him. Like you have to catch him with a big shot that he doesn't see coming. But since everybody's always in front of him and no one's trying to box him and show him angles or give him different looks, he braces for all them big shots. And the ones that get him a little bit, he recovers quickly. Like
like I think Pete mentioned about Dubois or whatever. I mean, Dubois hit him with some shit, and Joyce kind of backed off, but he worked behind the jab and eventually broke his shit. So it's like
that's at 5 times the normal bone density. Yeah, for real.
But Parker. Parker doesn't really bleed like dude. Parker was leaking all over the place, but that final left hook. That left hook was because that left hook. It wasn't just a regular left hook. Dude put a whole snap into that left hook.
Honestly, that was the best left hook he threw in his career.
Because Parker was probably expecting that shit to hit to the chin, but he changed directions on that and put a snap to that shit. You saw the snap of his wrist and it hit him right in the temple. Parker just short circuited. Like that shit fucked his whole brain up. Like,
it's definitely a candidate for KO of the year.
Yeah, dude was in the corner on his side, like sleeping for like 4 seconds before he tried to get to. How he got to his feet, I don't know. But the ref had to count him out.
If it was the regular thudding left hook that Joe Joyce throws, I don't even think it has the same effect. But snapping one, oh my goodness!
That's the funny thing. Is like when he threw it, it didn't feel like it was a big shot. It just felt like a very short left hook, and then that shit did more damage than I thought.
Because you're not used to see him throwing a punch so fucking good. Like it was quick. Like it was like, oh shit! Like honestly, the punch he landed on Parker is the same shot that someone needs to land on him.
Yeah, seriously.
A quick snapping shot that he doesn't see coming.
Yeah, because like I said, Parker never reacted away from a punch. I mean, even when White dropped him with a left hook, he was like, he didn't like short circuit, like
Yeah, it was like, damn, it was a good shot. But this one, you could tell like someone disconnected the controller, and you're like, damn, come back, like. Yeah,
like if that nigga was a puppet, them strings was cut. You know what I mean? Like
Pinocchio. Ain't Pinocchio like just came out too? Like, yeah, that's fitting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just like, God damn, I was like, I mean, honestly, that's the type of left hook that Wilder needs to be developing. Like, if Wilder,
oh my God, look, if Wilder had a left hook like that, it's over. It's over. Like, if you make him a 2-weapon monster, it's over. But with the one weapon he has, yeah, it's good. But and we'll get into it more when we, with the last topic, but
yeah,
you're not gonna beat a guy like Joe Joyce with one weapon.
No. Funny thing is, I always said if he developed a right uppercut, oh my God, like imagine the uppercut seasons if Wilder could properly throw an uppercut.
Right.
Damn, we gonna come back and pretty much say if he could properly throw every punch besides the right hand. Because then we're going to be like, damn it, what if he could sneak in a smash?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't think he generates that much power from the left. It's the right hand.
He doesn't.
Yeah. Because the left, he throws it horrible. Motherfucker elbow be sticking out. It's mad telegraph. It's like a slap.
He got a decent
It's like,
his jab's alright. His jab's good.
His jab is decent, actually. And
when
at least in the Stavern fight, you could at least say that. I think it downgraded from then.
Yeah, because he fell in love with his right hand. You have to be careful. All we need is 2 seconds, and bam, shit like that. So that's how he. You
gotta be perfect all night. I just gotta be perfect for 3 seconds.
Yeah, and that obviously that hampered his growth. Whereas
tremendously.
But
hey, people still think he'll get into the Hall of Fame easily. So hey.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk more about that for sure, though. But Joe Joyce, though. He gets all the props. Like that was a hell of a fight. And Parker too, because Parker's not really entertaining fights like that, but that shit was hella entertaining. Like,
yeah, it was a great fight.
Yeah, this is about the third. This is the most entertaining Parker fight. But he's been in about 3. Matter of fact, no, 4 actually. Matter of fact, Joe Parker has been getting in some good fades lately.
Yeah, the Chisora fights, and then the Dillian White fight was good. Yeah, it's like
the Andy Ruiz fight was good, although that was a while back. But
yeah,
he's one of those guys who doesn't have he's not known for having good fights. Yeah, and I don't want people to be on the surface level and just be like, you boring motherfucker. But some of these dudes that you kind of pigeonhole like this. When you take the time and look at it, they've given us some good fights, and shout out to Joseph Parker. I know we get on him for not putting everything together, but he always gives it a good go.
Yeah, he definitely sure as hell did. Like he tried though, but the Juggernaut's just the Juggernaut. I mean, he threw 566 punches, which is probably average for a heavyweight, but he still put in effort. I mean,
for 2000s heavyweight,
Yeah,
that's low for 90s heavyweights.
He landed like 48% of his power punches, so it wasn't like he wasn't putting no effort.
Yeah, he had them Kessler numbers. Just think about it, and that's the crazy part when you land half your damn power punches and you still get knocked out or lose, like you know how demoralizing that is. That because you're basically you're throwing the kitchen sink at somebody and they're just walking through like the damn what's that with Nemesis from damn Resident Evil?
Right.
Just a big slow motherfucker just keep walking you down like nah.
Yeah. So yeah, but Joe
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
put him in put Joe Joyce in like a jumpsuit.
Yeah, well, honestly, right now, he needs he needs to really play up the Juggernaut gimmick because right now, dude has the eyes of the heavyweight division on him now. Like, dude now, and the funny thing is too, after the fight, he called out Usyk, talking about Usyk, I'm very field, let's get it on.
See, that's what you do. When you have your biggest moment, you better call the motherfucker out and do it the right way.
And he did, because obviously, because that win got him the interim belt. So now we all know if Usyk doesn't want to fight him again, then Joe Joyce
it'll be a duck.
Yeah, it will. And Joe Joyce will be the full champion, and then Frank Sanchez will be his mandatory.
And honestly, I think Joyce has a great chance against Usyk. I'm not sold on this fucking Usyk motherfucker. Like,
Even though
I mean
Usyk,
that respectfully.
even though Usyk beat him in the World Boxing Series.
Yes, but that was then. This is now.
Yeah, come on, y'all.
And this is the thing. Usyk still had to work for it back then. It wasn't like some easy ass.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, Usyk though was landing on dudes. I mean, the movement and the landing. Like, I think
Usyk beat him clearly now.
Usyk will be able to land it well at Joyce. It's just a matter that Joyce has that physical strength that I don't know if Usyk will be able to deal with that for a full 12 rounds.
Yeah,
see, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, Usyk has the movement and all that shit, but if he gets hurt or something, like, Juggernaut's still gonna be there. It's not gonna be on no Joshua like. Let me see. And honestly, it makes Joshua look bad because everybody's going to be looking like, damn, Joshua, you can't talk all this shit about, hey, I can't throw all these punches. You know, I'm big, I'm swole, I'm this, that. And then, Joyce is like, hold my beer. And he proceeded to damn Abeyabuchi motherfuckers. Like, so it's like,
Yeah, and it's and funny thing, I mean, they're both Nigerian anyways too, so it's like you can't even like that's another thing. So it's like, yeah, I mean, Joshua might need to.
I guess it's a new Najee bruh in town. I guess maybe they alternating.
I mean, Joyce is older than him too. I mean, but
that's the crazy part. Like, no one expect the old nigga to be doing all that.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's insane. Like, at 30, I mean, for someone who had a long amateur career and all that other shit, like, and he's still and having fights like that at 37, like, that's uncanny. And that doesn't happen. So, I mean, either way, like, I mean, if he doesn't fight Usyk, I mean, and he actually becomes a legit world champion, fuck it, he deserves it. He deserves, like, I mean, this dude has been sitting on the sidelines for a while, and then obviously, because
he's beating the names for it. Like, I don't mind dude being the champ after you face some top 10 dudes,
right? And
he's been doing that. Yeah,
I mean he's bodied Dubois. He's bodied 2 former heavyweight champions. If he's gonna win the title,
better resume than Wilder.
He's been as many champions as Wilder now, which is in a third of the fights.
and honestly, an overall better resume.
Yeah. And I know the Wilder fans are probably going to be upset, but look here, bro.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like, when you have 44,
just be happy he's still going to the fucking Hall of Fame. Jeez.
And we're gonna talk about that, for sure.
Yeah, we ain't gonna give you everything. Shit, like y'all motherfuckers want us to praise some of these dudes to high heaven, but they only giving us damn low vibrational accolades.
Right, and then but now funny this too is like literally after that Joyce fight, like of course Wilder was trending about Wilder who can crack the Juggernaut? Wilder can do it, and it's just like geez, like but what happens if Joyce actually eats a Wilder right hand and keeps moving forward?
Well, to be fair, I will say that Joyce himself, because he's on video saying that Joyce basically said I don't want to take many Wilder shots. So even Joyce himself knows. Even Joyce himself knows that Wilder can crack him. Like, so he's gonna be respectful. He's not gonna just be eating Wilder shots. So like,
the thing is with Wilder, and like King P said, like you don't want to eat too many of them. But Wilder don't throw many of them like that. So he's gonna be sneaky with it, even if you're winning. So you got to be alert with him all the time.
Right. Unless you go and actually, just go out and try to bomb Wilder out.
Well, the thing is that, like, the thing that makes it intriguing to me is that I think Joyce, Joyce can be hit and Wilder can crack him, but at the same time, I think that Joyce can take enough. Like, he's not going to fold off of one shot. So it's like it's a tough night at the office, regardless. Like, even if he does crack Joyce, it's going to take a lot to crack him. He's not just going to fold him with one shot.
And then remember, like Wilder's no fucking Pernell Whitaker his damn self.
Hell no.
Far from it. Like Wilder hittable as fuck too. Remember, what's his name was damn Eric Molina was buzzing dude.
Yeah, Eric Molina was timing him, countering him.
Yeah, so like you got to look at all that. You can't tell me, oh well, Wilder's completely improved since. And no, he's not. Like I've seen more improvement in Juggernaut within the last couple fights than I've seen Wilder since Stavern.
And if I was Wilder, I'd be training them fucking feet because I think he has faster feet than Joyce, but he has to fucking utilize it. So
his feet's not educated.
Yeah, because if he's trying to just like Wilder's not gonna beat Joyce with one punch. Like if he doesn't try to box him or throw hands, it's not gonna happen. But the thing is with Wilder, the more he throws his right hand, it's less effective because it's not catching you off guard as much. Right. Even though he has the power late, which he's proven that, but it's still not the same as someone landing a money shot in the first couple rounds and someone finally landed in the 10th and they're tired too and they're hoping and praying you don't get up or you didn't eat that.
Right.
Juggernaut might peak at 40. Damn right. Like
yeah, he might. Shit, that might actually be the case.
He's like, hold on.
But I mean, heavyweight's the one division where age isn't that major, of an issue. So he probably got 4 or 5.
I mean, it depends though, because heavyweights unfortunately does have a lot of old heavyweights that shouldn't be fighting, and they're the ones that I mean, yeah, some of them can be, some of them are still good, but some of them are are real jobbers and really should not be fighting anymore. It's heavyweights has a hard time of getting rid of old heavyweights. That's why we have fucking Chris Ariel still hanging around.
And Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, and Luis Ortiz, because they're not getting bodied the way that they need to.
And Chisora, because they're not getting the decisions they need to get, so they can say, you know what, I have nothing else to prove. With this victory, I'll retire.
Right, exactly. They're still there. I mean, hell, shit. Malik Scott could probably come out of retirement, and he might actually fuck around and get a couple victories here or there too.
I'd rather just see him wrestle Golovkin at this point. I'm good.
Facts.
Like that might be more interesting than seeing them niggas fight.
Also facts. But JoJo's definitely won the weekend, man. And he's definitely now a big player in the division. Because I know we were trying to rank him before in the preview, but dude is a real player now in that division.
But he's top 5, literally. What Fury or Usyk, Fury, Joshua, and honestly, I'm ready to put Joyce number 3 right now. Honestly,
I mean, let's say
motherfuckers who are undefeated and winning. I can't put Wilder and Joshua ahead of Joyce.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd give him number 5 over Ruiz.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
For
Ruiz,
now, I'm giving him.
Yeah, Ruiz is probably hanging on to his spot by a little bit because his victories aren't really clear. And he's kind of struggling. We
need to see Wilder win, and we need to see who else ain't. Well, yeah. Honestly, is Wilder really gonna let us know who's the real top 5? Because then we could really piece it together. Because if you're going off everybody's recent fights and shit, and that fight's coming up soon, right? A couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Yeah, because P got tickets for that, So yeah. What I'm saying, but it was a really extraordinary fight though, and then